Good morning, everyone. It's Sarge Reprieve. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope you're all doing well. And you know what? Today's a much better day than yesterday morning, wasn't it? Because we have won the game against Brentford by 2-1, guys. How are you feeling? How was your night? I hope it was a lot more comfortable than it has been over the last few months or weeks. Let's say weeks. Of course, guys, it was nice to get off to a victory. It's nice to win yesterday. Makes a change, doesn't it? And it sets us up nicely for the game in Turkey on Thursday, of course, guys. I'm delighted. I don't know how you're feeling. I'm happy, and I feel a lot more relaxed this morning than I did yesterday morning because we've won the game. And listen, I told you guys, it's all about positivity. It's all about mindset. It's not about, oh, you know what, a draw would be fine. It'd be a good result for us. Nah, not against Brentford. Not against Brentford at home. A win was the only result for Manchester United, guys. That is what it was all about. And we got the win yesterday, and I'm absolutely ecstatic that we got the win yesterday because of the way we played. Not only because of the win, it's the way we played. Yes, we started slow, and this is a concern. There are a couple of things that do concern me. It is the midfield. Of course, I do believe that the midfield is too slow, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. I do believe that. I also believe that we are too slow to get going in the game. In the first half, we were too slow to get our rhythm together, and Brentford looked pretty good, to be honest with you. But after we started getting a foothold in the game, we started to play some good stuff, and we were creating chances. And you know what? I liked what I saw yesterday. I saw a style of play. I saw some pressing. I saw some energy. And those people who think that some of those players are not on Eric Ten Hag's side, just look at the second half. We had adversity after the goal from Brentford, of course, when the referee wrongly sent De Ligt off to wipe the blood off his face at the wrong time, guys. And then we ended up conceding a goal from that position. Look at how we reacted to that adversity. The second half, we started the game like a house on fire. We were all over Brentford. And you know what? I was pleased with what I saw. Yes, there's still a lot of things to do better. Yes, I do think the midfield is slow, and we do need to start second. We do need to move the ball a little bit quicker and be more consistent in the way we play. Because sometimes I see our play and I think, wow, that's fantastic. It's brilliant. But then other times I'm like, come on, stop sitting back. We've got to get into the game a little bit more. We're too slow, etc. You know, so you know what? I was pleased overall yesterday, but there's still a lot of improvements to do. But it is encouraging. It is encouraging. Brentford are no mugs. I know people are going to paint that. They won 5-3 against Wolves the other day. They also just about lost to Manchester City as well. So look, this is Brentford are no one to be like ignored and sniffed at. You know, we won the game, won it fair. We won it regardless of adversity as well, because obviously what happened with Brentford's goal, I felt that we did fantastically well to respond. And one thing about responding is something different. You know, we've conceded goals before and we haven't responded. We froze and we haven't got back into games. But yesterday we seemed to get into the game. We seemed to have a new lease of life, so to speak. I thought Garnacho was excellent. Højlund held up the ball brilliantly. I felt Casemiro was highly underrated in the game. He was fantastic. De Ligt was a warrior. It was almost, dare I say it, Vidic-esque. Do you know what I mean? And I was very pleased with De Ligt. De Ligt running around with blood on his head, you know, Terry Butcher-like, if you know what I mean. If you can remember, if you guys are old enough to remember Terry Butcher with the bandage around his head, that was what it's like. And do you know what? I like that. I like to see that. I do like to see that. And do you know what? All we want to see is some heart, some passion, some fight at Man United. And we saw it yesterday. And despite going 1-0 down, we came back and we won the game fairly comfortably. We should have won the game by more, if we're being totally honest with you guys. We should have won it by 3-4-1, if I'm being honest. And you know what? We need to bring this energy into the Fenerbahce game. I still have my reservations about playing Eriksen in the centre of midfield, because I do think it's too slow if we play Eriksen in the midfield. I would play the double pivot if I was Eric Ten Hag. But do you know what? We do what we have to do. Fenerbahce are fourth in the Turkish league at the moment, and we should be able to dismantle them. Obviously, they have quality. They do have quality, and we have to be wary of their quality, guys. But do you know what? Let's just celebrate for now. Let's be happy for now, and let's move on to the next one tomorrow when we're all like, it's out of our mind and we're focused purely on the Europa League, guys. Of course, it is kind of a must-win against Fenerbahce. Of course, let's not get it twisted. We have drawn the first couple of games, so we do need to win that game, preferably if we have aspirations of finishing in that top 8 of the Europa League, of course, guys, and get out of that league position, of course, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and smash a like on the video, guys. Let's get through some of your comments. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Sunny. Good to see you, my friend. Hi, Sal. Good morning, Sunny. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I thought we controlled the game. We did, Sanjay. We controlled the game. The one thing I would say, though, is that we need to keep that momentum in the game. Keep that momentum. Don't go too defensive. Don't sit back too much. You know, we went ultra defensive in the second half after we scored the second goal, and I don't think we should be doing that. I do think we should have won the game by more goals, though. And you know, it is encouraging. We have to look at the positives. It's encouraging the way we played. We played some good stuff, and I'm absolutely delighted with it, of course. Sanjay, not many shots conceded. Absolutely. It's better. You know. Casemiro was playing well. He was playing well. A little bit of concern about Casemiro, of course. He went off with an injury. I don't know. It looked like a calf injury, something like that. Hopefully, it's not too serious. We'll be finding out the extent of that injury tomorrow, of course, guys. So hopefully, it's not serious. We do need him against Fenerbahce now, you know, because we don't really have anyone else in that position who can really has the experience in there. I mean, we could play Ugarte in there. Obviously, we can move Eriksen, you know, or Bruno into there. But, you know, I would much prefer Casemiro and Ugarte against them. Obviously, Bruno is missing, actually. Bruno is out of the game against Fenerbahce. He's suspended, of course, guys. He's suspended. So we're going to have to change around that formation, you know. And if Casemiro is injured, it's going to leave us in a bit of a mess, isn't it? So hopefully, Casemiro is not too badly injured. I would bring in Ugarte in that game against Fenerbahce, of course, and move Eriksen into that number 10. That's what I would do, in my opinion. It shows that it's the players' fault all along. Whenever they feel like showing up, they do. Absolutely, Sonny. You know what? They do it sometimes. You know, they give us something to be positive about. They do it a lot of times. They've been doing it over the number of years, 10 years or so. You know, sometimes they turn up, sometimes they don't turn up. I don't know what that is. You know, whether it's a cultural thing at Man United, whether it's something fundamentally wrong within the football club. I don't know why they turn up when they want to. You know, I don't know. But yesterday I saw relatively the full game, us playing some good football. We were pressing from the start. We were creating chances. And I like that. The little flick from Bruno was fantastic. It was brilliant, you know, when he created. It reminded me of the FA Cup final goal, of course. Those are sort of things I like, but we don't do it consistently enough. I don't feel we get the ball into the forwards quickly enough. I think we're too slow. I don't think we get it into them. And when we do create chances. We do create chances. We have little flicks here and there. Remind me a little bit of Dwight York, Andy Cole, little flick to Højlund, and a lovely finish there. You can tell he's been working under Ruud van Nistelrooy, can't you? You can really tell that he's been under the stewardship of Ruud van Nistelrooy in the art of finishing, because that was a Ruud van Nistelrooy-esque finish, guys. If I'm being totally honest, that reminded me, that gave me flashbacks of all those years gone by, of course, guys, of Ruud van Nistelrooy and his little chip. Oh, it was lovely. It was beautiful, guys. Absolutely. Trizzy, much better all round. The distance between the front and the middle was more compact. Absolutely. Looked like a more 4-4-2 for most of the game. Yes. Garnacho was, I told you, mate. I told you guys the 4-4-2 works. We played a lot of the game 4-4-2 yesterday. Thanks for pointing that out, Trizzy. We played a lot of the game yesterday with a 4-4-2, so to speak. I believe in the 4-4-2. I don't think the 4-4-2 is dead. At the end of the day, there's no substitute for getting balls into the box and creating chances. And the 4-4-2 encourages that. Of course, we usually play the 4-2-3-1 kind of formation. But yesterday, it did go to a 4-4-2. And I did like what I was seeing. Yes, some people are going to say, oh, well, it's only Brentford. It's only Brentford. Goodness me, Brentford are no mugs. Let's not forget they score goals for fun this season. So we have to be proud of what we did yesterday. But one thing which is more important is that we are consistent. We have to be consistent, and we have to keep winning football matches. And that starts with Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce is not going to be easy. The atmosphere is going to be incredible. We know what it's like in Turkey. Welcome to hell all those years ago. Do you remember those days against Galatasaray? Welcome to hell and stuff like that. And they knocked us out of the Champions League. We remember that, and Cantona beat up a fan. You remember that? You know, and you know, we know what Turkey's all about. We know we're going to go down Thursday, and we have to show ourselves and impose ourselves on the game. We cannot be slow in midfield. I'm a little bit concerned about that. I would bring Eriksen to that number 10 role because Bruno is suspended. So I would bring Eriksen into that 10 role and bring in an Ugarte and play Ugarte and Casemiro. God willing, Casemiro is fit for that game because they obviously walked off, which it looked a bit concerning, of course, guys. Oh my God, Sal, we won the match. Absolutely, bath time, we won the match. And let's hope it's not the last match we win. Of course, bath time. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. we did win the match, and I felt we won the match well. I felt we won it good. We didn't squeeze the match. In the end, it got a little bit shaky, but I never felt that we were threatened by Brentford. I felt we were compact, we were good, we were defended as a team, we attacked as a team. I felt Garnacho was excellent, getting that ball from the front to the back to the front, should I say. It was fantastic and was, to be honest, was brilliant yesterday. And you know what? A lot of those players showed up yesterday, and I'm very proud of the team yesterday. I felt De Ligt, for crying out loud, De Ligt is a warrior. And you know what? He's going to be the signing of the season. I actually put my neck out yesterday on my tweet, maybe a little bit too forward, but I said he's going to be the best signing post Sir Alex Ferguson. Time will tell at the end of the day, of course, guys. But he was brilliant yesterday, and he put his head where it hurts. And that's what I liked about De Ligt yesterday. It was fantastic yesterday. And to be honest with you, a lot of those players showed up yesterday. Dalot did better on the right-hand side. Of course, Dalot is a right back. And you know what? When Dalot plays right back, don't we look more balanced? Didn't we look more balanced yesterday with the left footer on the left back, with Martinez on the left back? It looked more balanced, didn't it? We attacked better, didn't we? You know, this is exactly what I've been screaming out all week, guys. Left back, left footer, special and right foot, right footer. It bodes well, better for the balance of the side, of course, guys. We're in no position to be playing inverted fullbacks, guys, because you know what, we're trying to build for the future, of course. Little bit disappointing. I didn't get to see Fletcher, didn't get to see Wheatley, and didn't get to see Harry and Mass, of course, not in the squad again. Little bit disappointed about that. But you know what, it does show you that we are trying to bring these youth players through as well. Fletcher was on the bench. Wheatley was on the bench. I was really pleased about that, to be honest with you. Even if they didn't get any minutes, I was pleased that they were on the bench at least. And hopefully we'll see them on Thursday as well. Sanjay. Nice profile, big up. I still think Bruno was awful yesterday. I don't see why he has to play, to be honest. Bruno was having a poor game, but you know what happens when you're an attacking player, Johnny? When you have one moment, you have to have one moment. Like that little flick to Rasmus Højlund was world class. It was world class. And that's the thing about being an attacking player. No, you don't have to play absolutely incredible the whole game. As a captain, we like to see you get at least 7 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? But he was missing in the game. He was, and until that flick, Bruno is a moments player. He is a moments player. I feel like he does amazing things sometimes, like in the FA Cup final against Man City, that little pass to Mainu. He does do some amazing things sometimes, but the problem with him, he's not consistent in the game. He doesn't get himself involved enough in the game. He does a lot of running, but you know what? When a bit of magic needs to be there, he can create a bit of magic, and he's proven it time and time again. He needs to keep it simple like he did yesterday. He kept it simple. Stop those long-range shots that he shoots from 30, 40 yards, and it goes way over the bar, you know what I mean, like rugby. But you know what? Yesterday, I give him his props. You know what? He created a goal for us. He basically won us the game with that flick. That flick was world-class. And if anyone else done that flick, they'd be screaming about it for months. If it was De Bruyne, they'd be screaming about it for months. You know what I mean? I know that Bruno, you know, isn't as consistent as that, and I know he hasn't played well recently. But you know what? I always give my props whenever I have to. You know, and yesterday that pass there was fabulous. And sometimes, if it's just one pass, if it wins us the game, that's enough. He won us the game with that pass, and you know what? Fair play. You know, and that's what I would say about that. Obviously, his whole round game needs to improve, but he's going to be out of the game against Fenerbahce. Of course, he is suspended, so he won't be playing against Fenerbahce. So it'd be interesting to see what we will be doing against Fenerbahce. Will we play the number 10? Will we play Eriksen up there? Will we play the double pivot and move Eriksen into that position? Will we move Xerxes into that position with Højlund? What will we do, guys? Will we keep Eriksen in there and put Xerxes where Bruno is? What do you think we should do against Fenerbahce, guys? Good morning. Kazi, how you doing, my friend? How you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well. De Ligt didn't care when he was bleeding. He just wanted to play for the bit like Vidic. He felt angry, and when we conceded after it went off, I like that, Kazi. Do you know what? I really like that about De Ligt. You know what? When he actually lost his rag, he kicked the bottles, didn't he? A bit like Jose Mourinho of the past, of course. He kicked the bottles and he was fuming. I like that. I really do. It did remind me a little bit of Nemanja Vidic. We did say it. I think it was a leap ball on myself. We were comparing De Ligt to Vidic weeks ago, and we were saying he reminds me of Nemanja Vidic about his mannerism, about his body language. He was diving into challenges all game. He was diving into those challenges. He was brilliant, you know, and I'm really excited to see De Ligt. De Ligt and Alicia worked well together yesterday. I felt Martinez did well on that left-hand side. He did try to get forward. Of course, it's not his natural position, but he is a left footer, so it did give us more balance, of course. But obviously, naturally, he's not a left footer, so he wasn't bombing up and down that wing, you know, overlapping runs on the left-hand side. But he did help Rashford. He did help Garnacho Garnacho, because I did see Rashford start on the left, and I did see Garnacho move to the left later on in the game. And Garnacho was thriving on that left-hand side. I saw him attacking. He was doing Ryan Giggs-esque runs, of course, and causing Brentford all kinds of problems. And that's what we want to see. We want to see our attackers running at the fullbacks. We want to see that, don't we? Good morning, Brian. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream, you legend. Thank you so much for joining me, mate. Thank you so much. I wouldn't really expect anything less from professional, to be honest. He got cut and played on. Sometimes we wouldn't. I mean, bath time. Look at Mason Mount at the end of the day. Mason Mount got a little graze on his head and he went off and he's out for weeks. Do you know what I mean? It's not as easy as saying that because it doesn't happen often at Man United anymore. I mean, the closest we got was Ugarte, who got cut on his leg the other day and carried on. But getting cut in your head is a different story. We don't see it in today's modern football. Modern football is more like all snowflakes and stuff like that. They get a little cut on their head and they're out for a couple of weeks. It is refreshing to see because I remember when Nemanja Vidic done, and it's nice to see bath time. It is nice to see. It's nice to see that he actually cares, you know, he actually wants to put his head in where it hurts, you know, and we haven't seen that over the last few years at Man United. Name me the last Man United player who had a cut head, you know, and carried on playing football. We cannot remember because they don't put their head in where it hurts. I was glad to see De Ligt do that, and I was glad to see him play on the way he played on, of course. De Ligt was world-class. I think he is. Let's not forget, De Ligt played against Manchester United during the European Championship. Was it the Europa League final in 2017, guys? Remember that? And he was a captain, you know. So, he's got a lot of experience at his young age. And you know what? I think sometimes you don't quite find your home. I know he went to Juventus. I know he went to Bayern Munich. Sometimes you don't quite find your home. I do believe he's found his home in Old Trafford. I think De Ligt has found his home, and I think he's going to thrive at Old Trafford and could be our centre-back player for the next few years, of course. I'm really looking forward to, obviously, Euro coming back as well. Euro's close to fitness, of course. By November, hopefully, he should be in the team as well. And he can play the left side as well, so we can move Martinez to the left-back position. Was a little bit disappointed with Evans' performance. For Evans was a little bit positionally naive, but you know what? I'm not going to blame Johnny Evans because he is nearly 40 years old, and you know what? He cannot taste after a 25-year-old, you know what I mean? And he was there and he did pretty well in the end of the day. And I can't criticize him too much, of course, guys. I want to see Xerxes in the number 10. Everything about him seems good enough apart from the shooting. No, so I would put Xerxes in number 10. And Johnny, this is what I would say. Xerxes did say this before we signed for Manchester United, that he's not a goal scorer and don't expect him to score 20, 30 goals a season. He said he's a creative player. He's not one of those guys who's going to be a poacher, a guy who's going to get you goals. He might get you 10, 15 goals a season, but he's not going to get any more than that. One thing I do want to see exactly, Johnny, is I want to see Xerxes in that number 10 position because you know what? I think he's that perfect for that type. Do you know that? I don't like comparing to Liverpool players, but do you know that Firmino type of player who plays behind, you know, and makes everything tick and is like the connection between the striker and the midfield. You know, I think we should try that at the end of the day. It's a perfect opportunity to try it against Fenerbahce, given that Bruno is not playing, of course, guys. So, you know what? The only thing I would be concerned about is in the Fenerbahce game is that we need leaders. We need more leaders in that team against Fenerbahce because Fenerbahce is going to be an intimidating atmosphere. And we really have to be on the ball and we really have to be mentally strong against Fenerbahce because they're going to create a partisan atmosphere in that stadium and we have to be ready for it. We have to be mentally ready. I would be drilling that to the players all week. You know, Fenerbahce, they're going to be loud. They're going to be, keep it in your head. It's on the football pitch that matters and don't worry about what's going on in the crowd. If it's fireworks, if it's, you know, explosions, etc. Just keep it on the pitch and believe in yourself. Don't worry about what's going to happen. The number one most sweet thing to do is silence the crowd. Get a goal, silence the crowd, of course, guys. I can't believe there were 5 red cards yesterday and Bruno wasn't one of them. Goodness me, I don't think he would have got sent off yesterday. We would have been fuming if he got sent off yesterday again. That would be. He nearly did. He'd done a 2-footed challenge during the game. If you remember, he'd done a 2-footed challenge by half time. And you know what? I was a bit concerned. I thought, you know what? 3 times in a row, that's got to be a record, isn't it? Being sent off 3 times in the season. Well, within the space of a month. Number 10, absolutely. Yeah. Have you done the player ratings? I'm going to do it now, my guys. I'm going to do the player ratings now. My player ratings for the game, guys. So I'm going to go through this, guys. If you don't mind, I get going. I get talking on the player ratings and stuff like that. So obviously, let me get into it, you guys. So let's go to the player ratings then. Okay, guys. This is my player ratings for the game. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but you know what? Onana made a couple of brilliant saves during the game. absolutely, when it was 0-0, we made some brilliant saves during the game, and we were lucky he was alert during the game, didn't make anything mistakes. I don't think the goal was his fault, of course. I mean, I would say about Onana is that during corners, he needs to be more of a presence. He needs to control his area a lot more better than he did. And when De Ligt went off, I mean, we should have organised that defence a lot better, and were wary about the players in the box and brought in a striker to mark the player who headed the ball in. Of course, Dalot lost his man, unfortunately, but you know what? I wouldn't criticise Onana too much. I thought he done okay overall in the game, guys. I thought Licha did good. I didn't think he did fantastic, but it was better to have a left-sided left back. I'll give him 6, touching a 7. But you know what? I can't blame him too much. He's not a left back, but he's a left footer, and he works better in that position than Dalot in that position. That, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, guys. I thought Evans was okay, did okay. You know, I'm not going to criticize Evans too much. I felt like he got into the game. He went through the motions. He was a little bit positionally suspect at times. You know, he was backing off too much sometimes during the game. I felt like players were running at him, and he was just backing off. He needed to tackle those players and get at them. But you know what? Let's not criticize Evans too much. He is 40 years old nearly, of course, guys. De Ligt, I would say, no, 8. He was a contender for man of the match. I'll give him 8 yesterday. Playing on with a bloody head, of course, guys. Absolutely was brilliant. And I was so proud to see that, because I haven't seen that for years at Manchester United, of course. So, you know what? When you see the likes of Vidic, Steve Bruce, and Gary Pallister and the likes of these players, you know what? You appreciate what De Ligt did yesterday. You appreciate that is what Manchester United is about. You get it. You get it for me. I know some people say that's normal. It doesn't happen as often as you think in the Premier League anymore. It doesn't. A lot of players when players get a cut on their head, they go off and there's a substitute these days, because obviously everyone's all careful now because of a concussion and stuff like that, which is fair enough. But yesterday, I really liked De Ligt's performance, and he was a contender for man of the match for me, if I'm being totally honest with you. I felt Dalot was a 7. I thought he did good yesterday. I felt a lot of his play was good, added a well-needed balance on that right-hand side. And you know what? He's a great right back. He's a great right back. And when he's playing on his natural position, he gets bombs up and down that pitch. He crosses the ball into the box. He overlaps. And I thought it was brilliant yesterday, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. I thought it was good yesterday. 7, probably a 7.5, but let's go for a 7. I'll give him a 7 yesterday, touching on the 7.5, but he did yesterday very, very well. Ericsson, I felt it was okay. He did okay. He went through the motions during the game, done a few good things. A little bit slow for my liking, if I'm being totally honest with you. He's too pedestrian, if I'm being honest with you. And against the bigger size, we might get exposed in that area, and we have been exposed in that area, because he is not that kind of player. He's not a number 8, of course, guys. He doesn't control midfields like a number 8 can control a field. Control the game, of course, guys. But you know what? He wasn't that bad. He'll get a 6 out of 10 for me, which is just a little bit above average. But he did okay yesterday, in my opinion. I felt Casemiro was highly underrated yesterday. His performance was brilliant. It went 7 to 7.5 for me. He was absolutely brilliant during the game. Controlled the game, controlled the midfield, was an influence within that midfield. And it was good to see Casemiro back there, you know, controlling things, marshalling things there. He looked better. He looked fitter. Unfortunately, he came off with a calf injury. Hopefully that isn't too serious going forward for the Fenerbahce game. We don't want any more injuries, guys. That's the last things we need, guys. Last thing we need is any more injuries, of course. So I'm pleased with Casemiro's performance yesterday. Of course, Rashford, I thought was good. He was good as well. I felt in the first half, he crossed some great balls into that box, and obviously the goal that led to Garnacho's fantastic finish was a brilliant cross from Rashford. So we have to give him his props. I do believe that Rashford does well on the right. When he plays on the right, he's more inclined to cross the ball, and he's not a bad crosser of the ball, you know. But I'm surprised he doesn't do it more often. He doesn't cross the ball more often. I think if he crossed the ball a little bit more often, we'll score a lot more goals. But he has to play on that right hand side. The problem with Rashford and Garnacho is that they both want to play on the left-hand side, which is the issue that we're having. But Rashford played well yesterday. He did start on the left yesterday, hence the reason on the image he's on the left. He did start on the left. He swapped over with Garnacho midway through the first half. This is why we saw Garnacho on the left a number of times. Of course, Garnacho missed the opportunity on the left-hand side, which went into the side net, of course. When we're thinking of Bruno was good yesterday. Let's give him his props. You know, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't brilliant. But when you create the goal to the winning goal, you know what? You have to give him these props, of course. I've been giving him 3 and 4 out of 10s all week, guys. 3 or 4 out of 10s. So you know what? It's refreshing to give him a 7 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 yesterday because of that pass. Because of that pass. If he didn't do that pass, of course, it would go down a couple of notches. But you know what? When you do the killer pass that wins us the football match, I appreciate it. And I want Bruno to do more things like that because we know that he is capable of that stuff, you know. And you know what? If he carries on doing that stuff, you know what? You know, it'd be good for us at the end of the day. We won't play him on Thursday. Perhaps that's a blessing in disguise. Perhaps we can play another formation with a different team, of course, guys. But you know what? Fair play to Bruno for that pass, of course, guys. Number 8, Højlund, of course, scored the goal. The winning goal, of course, was brilliant. Scored 8. I'll give him an 8 rating, of course, was really good. And one of my contenders for man of the match. Held up the ball well, brought players into the game. And this is exactly what I was saying. Yesterday, I said the game would be 2-1 and the goal scorers would be Højlund and Garnacho. I did say it yesterday, let's not forget. And I was correct, guys. I was correct. You know what? Fair play. Fair play to me. Fair play to me. But that was a fantastic finish by Rasmus Højlund, of course. And you know what? You can tell he's been on the training field with Ruud van Nistelrooy because that was Ruud van Nistelrooy-esque finish, guys. That was. I mean, that finish was so delicate. It did remind me. If you go back to Ruud van Nistelrooy's career, you'll see a number of finishes like that, guys. A number of times he's been in that position and he just slightly delicately looped it over the goalkeeper. Brilliant. Even his first game for Manchester United, Ruud van Nistelrooy had a goal similar to that. If you go back and you look at it, you can tell that he's been on the training field with Ruud van Nistelrooy. It's brilliant. My man of the match yesterday, and you know what? It was close, but I'm going to give it to Garnacho, guys. Garnacho was my man of the match yesterday. He was fantastic yesterday. I'll give him an 8 out of 10, to a stroke 8.5. But he got an 8 out of 10. I mean, he done well bombing up that pitch, and you know what? Created a lot of problems for Brentford. And you know what? I felt like, you know, he was the difference maker, Garnacho, yesterday, because he got our team forward. He got us playing up on the front foot. Every time he got the ball, he would run at the defender. And you know what? Sometimes it's his final pass needs to be a little bit better. It needs to be a little bit more composed when it comes to getting that ball into the box and the final ball. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. He's still a young lad and there's still a lot to learn. But I'm really pleased with his performance yesterday, guys, if I'm being totally honest with you. When we move into the substitutes, guys, I'm going to say this. I would give Xerxes a 5. I don't think anyone really imposed themselves when they came on the pitch. Of course, Ugarte, Lindelof and Mazraoui came on very, very late in the game. Xerxes came on earlier, of course. I would give Xerxes a 5. Don't think he really imposed himself the way he should have during the game. Had a few good, delicate touches, decent touches, but nothing to be right home about. Ugarte a 5, an average score. They weren't on there long enough. Lindelof weren't on there long enough. And Mazraoui weren't on there long enough. So I'll give everyone a 5 out of 10, which is just about average, to be honest with you. An average score, guys, is a 5 out of 10 for them. In regards to Erik ten Hag, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. We did win the game. I know we won the game, so it's slightly above. I would say that the midfield was a little bit slow, but you know what? I'll give him a 6.5, 6 or 6.5 in the game, guys, if I'm being totally honest. I thought he was okay. And you know what? He has to move up. There are levels to move up, guys. We've got a lot of levels to move up, you know, in this team and in our performances, of course. I'm a little bit worried about that midfield. I'm a little bit worried about the slowness of that midfield. And you know what? The reluctance to sub off Bruno or Eriksen early enough to, you know, when they're getting tired. You can tell they're getting tired. That's the one thing we'll say. But a 6 out of 10 is fair enough. We won the game, and fair play to Erik ten Hag. A reprieve for Erik ten Hag, of course, guys. So what do you think about those ratings, guys? What do you think? Do you agree with those ratings? Let's have a look at at some of them. Around the distance between I think I read those ones. Really anything less than a professional to delete world class. Let's have a look at it. So I just went to see Xerxes in number 10. Everything around seems enough apart from shooting. I'll put Xerxes in number 10. I would as well. Let's have a look at here. I think I read them ones. Have you done the player? Yeah, I've just done them. What do you think of the player ratings, guys? What do you think about the player ratings, guys? It is only 20. Right, it's quite great for us. If he plays until Johnny Evans' age, we've got 10 years of De Ligt. Do you know what I mean? So even 5 years is good enough. You know, we've been missing a player like that. You know, Brian, absolutely been missing a player like that. I thought Evans was by far our best player yesterday, though. No, he wasn't. He wasn't, mate. He wasn't. It was not. It was De Ligt was our best player, along with Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund. Evans was backing off too much. He was the players were running at him, and he was struggling a little bit. And that's not his fault. He's 40 years old, you know. if I'm being honest with you. Bruno mixed it up by dropping deeper and showing things down, allowing us to be more control. And when the moment arrived, he produced a touch of Rasmus. I like it. Top button. This is what Bruno can do. And this is the one thing, this is the conundrum that we're going through now. He's the only player on that pitch who can do that kind of thing, you know, that little flick, that delicate little touch. And I give him his props for that. This is why I gave him a 7 out of 10 yesterday. He does drift in and out of games. You know, he does drift in and out of games. You don't see him much in the game, which is a problem, of course. Before that flick, he was running around. It was a lot of huff and puff, but you know what? I would give him his props yesterday. He did well yesterday. And you know what? We need to step up against Fenerbahce on Thursday because Bruno will not be playing. And it is going to be interesting to see what we do without Bruno. Hopefully, we don't go super defensive. Hopefully, we replace Bruno with Xerxes, or we play Eriksson in that number 10 role and play Ugarte in that midfield. We can do that. There's a number of things we can do against Fenerbahce. It'd be interesting to see without Bruno how we perform. Who's going to be the captain? Who do you think is going to be the captain, guys? Who do you think? He was good, but De Ligt was far better, not taking anything away from Evans. He did play. He played okay, Kazi. He played okay, but he was backing off too much for my liking, my friend. He was backing off too much. When the players were running at him, he was going like this on his side and like that, you know, and a lot of the people in the stadium were saying that, you know, he was backing off and he you know, he did okay, you know, but you know what? We weren't really a threat. Brentford didn't really pose a threat like I thought they would do. They didn't really give us much to think about. If we're being totally honest with ourselves, they weren't brilliant. But you know what? Maybe that's because of us. Maybe we blame ourselves because maybe we made them look average. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say glass half full. We made Brentford look average. I'm going to say that if I'm being honest with you guys. Good morning, Mayeba. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Xerxes is not a striker. Cannot pass as well as Haaland. Too slow on the ball. Does not hold the link up well. He hasn't played that number 10 position. I do want to see him playing that number 10 position from the start. He does look a little bit sluggish. He does look a little bit, dare I say it, overweight. If I'm being totally honest with you, looks a bit slow, but I do want to see him given a chance at the start, playing with Rasmus and playing that false number 9 position. If you know what I mean, I think he could do well in that position. I don't want you guys to think. I think he'd be good in that position if he's given an opportunity. Of course, Bruno is missing against Fenerbahce. Our stress is that we got a big opportunity on Thursday to try something different, to try something new. We're forced into it, so let's see what we do and let's see if he plays. Let's see if he plays. Absolutely. Man of the match has been De Ligt and Garnacho. Yeah, people watched the game. People started the game. They know that man of the match was between Garnacho and De Ligt. Garnacho and De Ligt were the best players on the pitch. By far, best players on the pitch. Anything else is an agenda, guys. So at the end of the day, Garnacho and De Ligt were the man of the match. And guys, what did I say about the left side? When you play a left-sided player, a left back, with a left foot on the left side, what happens? The balance. Even Martinez is not a left back, right? It looked much better with a left footer on the left back. Our defense looked balanced. It looked balanced. De Ligt looked comfortable. You know, the whole defense looked comfortable, didn't it? Isn't that weird? I mean, call me crazy. Call me crazy. But isn't that weird that when we play a left footer on the left back, it worked, didn't it? It looked balanced, didn't it? People just want to argue me for no reason. You know, I do know ball. Absolutely. Big up. I'd have given man of the match to Rashford or Eriksson, to be honest. Right, what game were you watching halftime? Eriksson was a 6 out of 10. Eriksson was poor. He wasn't poor, but you know what I mean. The poor Garnacho. Nah, mate, you can't give that. That is just agenda, mate. That's an agenda. No, Rashford was all right. He got a 7 out of 10 for me. He was okay. He gave the cross. He gave the assist. But that finish from Garnacho, mate. Come on, give it props. Bath time. Are you a Man United fan? You know what I mean? Come on, man. You got to give the props to Garnacho. That finish, the running. Guys, if you were around during the Ryan Giggs time, right? Ryan Giggs used to run up and down the pitch, right? He used to run up and down the pitch. The frustration that Ryan Giggs used to give the fans, the frustration. He used to lose the ball. He used to lose the ball a number of times, but it was those killer moments that he used to take advantage of. Those moments. Whether it's the assist, whether it's the goal, he used to take those moments. I felt that Garnacho, as a young kid, played very well on that left-hand side yesterday. I thought he was fantastic yesterday. So was De Ligt, was fantastic. Rashford was good as well, but not as good as De Ligt. Not as good as Garnacho yesterday. He was brilliant. But Rashford got a 7 out of 10 for me. So, but Garnacho was slightly above, in my opinion. Of course. Big up, everyone. Big up, GK. Big up, Kazi, of course. And everyone who comes here. What's in breakfast? Nothing for me. I don't eat breakfast, GK. I don't eat breakfast. I feel. Composed view. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you back, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I feel it's an ugly match, and our players can be soft sometimes, if not most. Yeah, there's a lot of things we do need to improve in regards to that composed view, but that's why I was so impressed with De Ligt yesterday. That's why I was happy to see De Ligt carrying on, soldiering on with that cut on his head, because you know what? You do say it right. We're a little bit. Whoa, you know, what I mean? We're not too in their faces, getting the foot stuck in. That's what we need to do a little bit more, in my opinion. You know, we do need to do that. I do believe that Eriksen's a little bit careful. He's a little bit soft. If I'm being honest with you, he's a classy player, but you know what? 5 years ago, Tottenham had enough with Eriksen, and I feel like we cannot go forward with Eriksen in that midfield. If we're going to play Eriksen, we have to play him as that number 10. We have to, because it's too slow in that midfield. We'll get dominated against the better teams. You know, probably Fred would dominate him against Fenerbahce. Do you know what I mean? So we have to be careful. Big up, Sniper Man. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing. When is Fenerbahce? It's on Thursday, my friend. Thursday, UK time on Thursday, of course, guys. I'll be doing a watch along, guys. I remember De Ligt had the same bleeding, but worse in Juventus. He's a warrior, Sniper Man. He's a warrior. I like that. I do like that. Absolutely. I agree. I love it. Sniper Thursday we play. Yep. Of course, can't wait. I'm worried for De Ligt injury. The head injury, he'll be all right. He'll be all right, Sniper Man. He'll be all right. He's a soldier. He'll soldier on. He'll play against Fenerbahce, my friend. Lies around me. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Assalamu alaikum, my friend. Hope everything is good with you. Good to see you, my friend. We will be back, baby. We're going to win the league. Only kidding. We're just happy we won. I'm happy we won, lies around me. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Just to get us up that table, that 14th place. I told you, as soon as we win a game, we'll go shooting up that table. We win another game. We beat West Ham. We're right up that table again, guys. We're only 6 points from Arsenal, guys. So at the end of the day, look, you know what? It is okay to be cautiously negative sometimes, but it's also okay to be cautiously optimistic as well. We have to have it as a balance, guys, as well. Yesterday, there were some great things within the football team that I liked. I liked it. And I'm going to call it out when I see it. I criticize when I see. I like when I see. At the end of the day, guys, absolutely. I don't know what some people are seeing, but definitely, absolutely. Note to self, Licha is an overlap doesn't work. Note to Licha as an overlap doesn't work, but the balance of the team is better. The left side, as I've been screaming out, he's a left footer. So why did we play so well on the defense? It's because we were more balanced, and he's a left footer, Sniper Man. Whether he goes forward or not, we still have a left footer on that left side, and his positioning was excellent. During the last few weeks, we conceded a lot of goals from that left side position. And you know what? Brentford are strong on that side, and they didn't get a sniff. Why didn't they get a sniff? It's because Licha Martinez was there and he's a left footer. And it's something I've been screaming about for a long time. And whether he's a left back or not, as long as he's got a left foot, he knows how to position himself in that position. And because he played well, so did the rest of the defense. So did generally Johnny Evans. De Ligt was solid. Dalot was brilliant, bombing up and down that pitch. So at the end of the day, you know what? Generally, it's better to have a balance in your team, better than playing square pegs in round holes. And I thought he did brilliant yesterday, Licha Martinez. He's not even a left back, but he's a left footer, of course. So it did much better. The Centro captain, I agree, absolutely. Morning, Rasta. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. Morning. Recovering from New York Comic Con. Yeah, I saw that, mate. I saw that. I saw you with the Squid Game thing, my friend. Hope it was fun. Hope it was good. Listen, guys, if you were offered the chance to win £1 million or $1 million, right, to go into the Squid Game, would you go into the Squid Game if it was real? Would you do it if it was real and you got a chance to win $1 million or 10 million, something like that? Would you do it? It's interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Slaban Sanjay De Ligt, captain 100%. It's a good shout. So I agree. Viva Garnacho, big up, Brian. Absolutely, Viva Garnacho. Absolutely. It was fantastic yesterday. Anyone who says otherwise, who weren't man of the match, I don't know what you're watching. There was only De Ligt and Garnacho were the contenders for man of the match. They were the difference makers yesterday. I felt Rashford on another day would have been man of the match, but you know what? He had a lot of players above him yesterday. Probably a Kasi cappuccino, waffles, and custard cream biscuits, not soggy biscuits. Not soggy biscuits today, guys. Who is the soggy biscuit of the day? We need to find out who the soggy biscuit of the day is, guys. Kazi decides who the soggy biscuit of the day is. De Ligt, the warrior, reminds me of Stan. De Ligt, he does remind me of Stan. He reminds me also of Vidic. He reminds me of both of them. You know what? And you know what? I haven't seen that for years, Barman. How you doing, by the way? Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen that for years, mate. I really haven't. And I'm glad I saw a player dedicated like that, bleeding for the head and carried on. It was brilliant. I loved it. It's nice to see, isn't it? It's nice to see, someone. I mean, when was the last player who had a cut head and carried on playing? at Man United? Can we remember? Was it Vidic? Was it Vidic? Can we remember it? I mean, it was a long time ago, definitely. Kazi, where are we on the table? I think we are 11th, my friend, or 10th. 10th. We're 10th, Kazi, 10th place. But we are 6 points, literally. Let's have a look at this. We are 6 points from second. Right now, we're 6 points from second, 7 points from first. I know that's been a little bit overzealous and stuff like that, but we are 6 points from second, 7 points from first. Knee-jerk reactions, knee-jerk reactions. Go on a run. If Man United go on a run, if they go on a run and they pick up some points, you know what I mean? Anything can happen. We can get in that top four, but we have to go on a run, guys. We have to go on a run. Well done, Bournemouth beat Arsenal. Yeah, Asna lost yesterday. Of course, guys. Fantastic for Bournemouth. Of course, was a red card. I agree with that. It was a red card. Bournemouth could have won. One thing I liked about Bournemouth, though, yesterday, touching on Bournemouth, actually, I liked the way they got on the wing and they kept crossing that ball in the box. Cross. And they put Arsenal under so much pressure. Brian, did you see it? And that's what I want to see Man United do. I want to see us cross, put them under pressure. It caused Arsenal so much pressure, of course. Martinelli, I think he missed a fantastic chance before Bournemouth scored, of course, guys. But Bournemouth were brilliant yesterday. When Arsenal went down to 10 men, Bournemouth really capitalised on it well. And they could have won 3-0 or 4-0, actually, absolutely. But Arsenal did shoot themselves in the foot with that terrible miss. I think it was by Martinelli, of course, guys. Morning, Kenny. How you doing, my friend? See the Arsenal meltdown? I love it, Kenny. I really do. Guys, I was debating. There was a guy on my Twitter page, right, who supports Arsenal. He always comes on my tweets. He always comes on my tweets and starts giving me banter about Man United, right? Despite them losing to Bournemouth, right? And then he started going on to European Cups and European trophies, right? So he said to me, right? He said to me, oh, look at you guys, 2 mid-table teams fighting it out in the Premier League. I said, okay, that's fine. Look at Bournemouth and Arsenal. 2 teams without any European trophies, fighting it out in the Premier League. You know what? So he got defensive and started saying the Cup Winners' Cup is a Europe. The Cup Winners' Cup doesn't exist anymore. Arsenal won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1994. They made a song about it. 1-0 to Arsenal. 1-0 to... They actually made a song about it, for goodness sake. The Cup Winners' Cup is a dead competition. It always was a dead competition, right? This is why they eliminated the competition completely, because the quality wasn't there. The quality in the UEFA Cup was far higher. It was a UEFA Cup back then. Now it's the Europa League. UEFA Cup, the quality was incredible in the UEFA Cup. There were a lot more quality teams back then. But Arsenal won the Cup Winners' Cup. Fair play. They won the Cup Winners' Cup. That is the Cup Winners' Cup. That is their European trophy. Then they started to say that the Cup Winners' Cup is more prestigious than the Champions League because you actually have to win something to get into the Cup Winners' Cup. I don't know where I go with these Arsenal fans. I think they're absolutely delusional. Delusions of Gunchula. I think they need to reassess their mentality a little bit, and think about what they're saying a little bit. Man United have won the Champions League 3 times. You may say that's the past. I say it's a present fact. It's a present fact that our name is on the Champions League title and theirs isn't. That's a Premier League fact. You're only deemed an elite club until you win if only you win the Champions League. That is the only way you are deemed an elite club. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea have won it twice. They can be deemed an elite club. Arsenal have won it 0. Arsenal have not won the Europa League either. Chelsea have won the Europa League. Arsenal have not won the Europa League. They haven't won. We've won the Europa League. And when people want to banter Manchester United, right, and especially Arsenal fans, let me tell you something right now. The man called Eric Ten Hag has more trophies than Arteta, mate. If you want to talk about you have to win something to go into the Cup Winners' Cup, which no longer exists, right? Why don't you talk about the second place when you won nothing and Man United won something? Why don't you bring that into the equation? Why don't you bring that into the equation? Instead of bantering Manchester United, maybe check yourself before you wreck yourself, my friend. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because at the end of the day, mate, you know what I mean? You lost to Bournemouth yesterday, right? I went on your page bantering you, but you're on the Man United page. When you're big, isn't it? Absolutely. Joint 10th, Kazi. Joint 10th. It's on here. I've got it up here. I think it's 11th. Yeah. Yeah, joint 11th, mate, I think. Joint 11th, mate. So I say joint 10th. Kazi, I say joint 10th. I always look at my glass half full, Kazi. Brian, half full. We're joint. Absolutely. Arteta, trust the process working. What process? You got Arsenal fans screaming Arteta out last night. Crazy, isn't it? Mad, isn't it? The lads put in a fight. We need to fight to go to war. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I agree with you. The lads did put in a fight yesterday, and I like that. I like that. You know what? I really do like the fact that we did go to war yesterday. And you know what? We didn't give up yesterday. When we went 1-0 down, we were a little bit skeptical. We were a little bit, worried that we're not going to get back into the game because obviously past results prove that, But this reminded me a little bit of the game last season when we beat Brentford 2-1 and McTominay scored the last 2 goals in the last minute. People were saying we need McTominay. Wait, there you go. I told you. There you go. Play good football, we win the game. That is what it's all about. It's about controlling the game. Play good football, win the game. No survival football. Play good football, win the game. That's how it should be. Last season was survival football. And players like McTominay and that, fair play to them, they encourage survival football. We're trying to get away from that survival football thing, if we're being honest. Soggy biscuit of the day goes to Arsenal. Absolutely, Kenny. I concur with that. The soggy biscuit of the day does go to Arsenal, guys. I think that, and that Arsenal fans, they go to the Arsenal fans. Arsenal are the soggy biscuit of the day, guys. There you go. I agree with that, guys. I agree with Arsenal being the soggy biscuit of the day. Thank you, Kenny. Good point, mate. They're the soggy biscuit of the day, is Arsenal. Absolutely. Brentford were the soggy biscuits. No, Brentford weren't the soggy biscuits, Kazi. I think Arsenal were, because Arsenal were bantering us. Arsenal were trying to banter Man United. They were trying to banter Man United. We won, they lost. What are they going on about? They're trying to banter us. Listen, they're Woolwich rejects. That's all they are. They need to allow us. Absolutely. So you told me where was yesterday, but he did a decent job at Roma. Yeah, Roma in the Conference League, mate. Roma. Yeah, in the Conference League, mate. He didn't win the league, though, did he? The Serie A is different, mate. At the end of the day, the Conference League. I mean, West Ham won the Conference League, Sniper Man. West Ham. He's washed, mate. He's washed. He's a washed manager, mate. Compared to what Sniper Man. Due respect, you weren't born when the real Jose Mourinho was around, right? You weren't born. So I would be the judge of Jose Mourinho, right? Jose Mourinho is not the Jose Mourinho from back in 2004, 2005. I'm not saying he's a crap manager. He's not the same animal as he was back then. He's not. He lost his father. He became very mellow. He became more of an attitude. When he used to manage Chelsea and Porto, he used to have swagger. And I'll be honest with you. I was jealous of Jose Mourinho, at Chelsea at the time. I thought he was brilliant. I thought, I wish he was at Man United. But we had Sir Alex Ferguson, of course. You know what I mean? So I was like, he's brilliant. You know what? He's the future and that. But you know what? He's not the same manager as he was. Absolutely not. Not to say that we don't go into that game and he's not going to want to prove a point on Thursday. Of course, he's going to want to prove a point on Thursday. He's going to want to prove a point against Manchester United. One game he's going to want to win is Manchester United, of course. So that is where we have to be mentally ready for that. We have to be mentally ready for Amrabat. We have to be mentally ready for Fred. Do you know what I mean? It's a sad that we got. I mean, I would have loved Amrabat, but at the end of the day, we're not playing enough midfielders. So I don't know if we would have signed him. Absolutely. Vidic out. Yeah, it was Vidic. Yeah. Vidic, what? It was Vidic. Yeah, with the cut head, it was Vidic. Yeah, and I said it at the top of the show, Kazi. I said it at the top of the show. Vidic was the man. We said it yesterday. Me and Elite Baller in the stream yesterday. We're talking about Vidic and how it is Vidic with the bandage on his head. Good. Big up, Jamie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good morning, sir. Big result. Let's get some momentum now. Trust the process. Jamie, it's all about momentum. That is what's most important. It's no point us going and beating Brentford if we're going to drop points against West Ham. We need to play West Ham next week, and we need to beat West Ham, And if we beat West Ham, we're going to be kind of on a roll, ain't we? We're going to be kind of a roll. But the only thing is beware the wounded beast. West Ham lost 4-1 to Tottenham Hotspur yesterday. So they're going to be wanting to prove a point, guys. They're going to be wanting to show themselves to us. Do you know what I mean? And prove a point. Absolutely. Bournemouth were brilliant even before Saliba was sent off. Kenny, I like the way Bournemouth play football. I'll be honest with you, Kenny. I like the way their wing play, the way they get that ball in the box. It's brilliant. I mean, they are good. They played brilliant yesterday, and fair play to them yesterday. I felt they could have won by a lot more goals, to be honest with you. Not to be, but they won the game 2-0 quite comfortably in the end. We know ourselves. It's not easy to play against 10 men, especially if you're a team like Bournemouth playing against Arsenal. So they did very well to win that game. Fair play to them. I don't think Arsenal are going to win anything this season. season. I did say it. I mean, if Arsenal don't win anything again this season, wouldn't that be how many seasons without a trophy for Arteta? 5. You know what I mean? Where's the energy? Where's the energy? Come on. United won the Cup Winners' Cup v Barca. Yes, we did win the Cup Winners' Cup, but it's the cup that we won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1991, wasn't it? 1990. Yeah, we won the Cup Winners' Cup against Barca. But you know what? Is it the Champions League? Nah, it's not the Champions League. But one thing it is like the Cup Winners' Cup. Arsenal were trying to say that they won a European trophy. It's fair play, they won the Cup Winners' Cup, but the Cup Winners' Cup don't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. So in theory, they can say, yeah, we won the Cup Winners' Cup, but then okay, they won the Cup Winners' Cup. Let's say that matters, right? We care about the Cup Winners' Cup because we actually went on a run and we actually won the league and we actually won more trophies, so we can count that. But when you're actually counting that as your linchpin, as your European trophy, come on, guys. Come on. The Champions League is where it's at. Then it's a Europa League, right? The UEFA Cup was more of a challenging competition, I felt, because obviously more teams played it, more quality teams played in it. But the problem is that Arsenal are trying to twist this and saying it's more prestigious to win the Cup Winners' Cup than to win the Champions League. And that's when we start getting into ridiculous, territory. We can't get into a mental health territory. That is crazy at the end of the day. I remember the Cup Winners' Cup final, against Barcelona. Mark Hughes, fantastic goal, Brian. Absolutely, from that tight angle as well. I remember watching it. I remember, fantastic. White kit, brilliant. Everyone doubted us during that game. It was a brilliant game. Of course, Koeman played for Barcelona, I think it was. It was a brilliant game, of course, guys. And we won the game. And I have fond memories. But at the end of the day, the Cup Winners' Cup is not the Champions League. And then, okay, if you want to bring the Cup Winners' Cup as a European trophy, Arsenal have one European trophy. West Ham have one European trophy. So if they really want to compare European trophies and talk how great the Cup Winners' Cup is, maybe they should concentrate on getting ahead of West Ham before they can start talking about Man United, right? Maybe if you want to talk about European trophies, maybe get ahead of West Ham first. Maybe get ahead of them. And then maybe you can class yourself in the same bracket as maybe a Porto, maybe something like that. Not even that, because they won 2 European Cups as well. Who's won more European Cups than Arsenal? Stuart Bucharest have won more European Cups than Arsenal. Chelsea have won European Cups than Arsenal. Most teams have won more European Cups. Zenit St. Petersburg have won more European Cups than Arsenal as well, guys. So you know what? When you start talking about Man United, just know your lane. Know your lane. Just go in your lane. When it comes to European football, we are the elite. You're not. Yeah. No, we haven't been where we should be. But currently, we are more successful in Europe and more of a bigger European powerhouse than you. We always will be. And I'll tell you that right now. Because of the Goldies, we are 11. Yeah, I'm a glass half full, Kenny. Joint 10th. Glass half full. Always think ahead. Morning, everyone. Sal, do you know Don Robbie from AFTV? I don't know him personally. I know who he is. Yes, I do know who he is. A delusional Arsenal fan, of course. De Ligt is going to be the best signing of the season. You didn't hear it here first. You heard it here yesterday, Kenny. I said it yesterday. De Ligt is going to be the signing of the season. I said he's going to be. Look at my tweets. Guys, if you see my tweets, it's the tweet I wrote yesterday. Don Robbie is a proud. Yeah. Arsenal are. Came second twice. That's not a trophy, though. If you want to talk about Man United, if you want to big up the Cup Winners' Cup, right? And you say the Cup Winners' Cup is more prestigious trophy than the Champions League, which they said yesterday. In that analogy, you can say, well, that means that the FA Cup is better than finishing second then, isn't it? Because you win a trophy. So it's a contradiction, isn't it? Obviously, football doesn't work like that. We know football doesn't work like that. But Arsenal fans seem to put the narrative in their favour all the time. They seem to want to move their favour. They want to move the goalposts all the time, guys. So that's what they do. They make me laugh sometimes. Did you see the picture, De Ligt and Vidic of the day bleeding? Absolutely, yes. Yes, I did. I saw that. I was at that game, Kazi. Goodness. Manitoto, the players saw De Ligt's blood and turned up. We will need to see blood and everyone. And that is what it just takes that spark, doesn't it? It just takes that spark. It takes that spark and to make a difference, guys. And that image from De Ligt will show those players what it's all about, of course, guys. Saliba, Saka, some of Arsenal players will consider their futures if they don't win anything this year. I do. I think that, Charles. I got a feeling that Saliba is going to go to Real Madrid. I got a feeling he's going to go to Real Madrid. I think Saka could be in line for a big move as well. Barcelona or something like that. Could be. I'm hearing rumours about it. I'm hearing rumours that Saka wants to go abroad. Who knows? Big up, Sal. Big up, Kingdom. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is good with you, brother. I hope everything is good. Good to see you, Kingdom FC. Good to see you, mate, as usual. UEFA don't like knockout comps from years ago. They prefer group stage than knockout. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know what? The Cup Winners' Cup was a dud trophy, mate. It was a dud trophy in the end in regards to the teams that played in it. You know, it's not the Champions League. It's not UEFA Cup. And it's not the Europa League right now. You know, it's a good trophy to win. Don't get me wrong. But we don't go around, you know, as a Man United fan, bigging it up, making songs about it. You know, we won it, we loved it, like we won the Europa League, we loved it. But we know where we want to be. We want to be European Cup, Champions League team, don't we? And that is where the big teams like. That's where the big teams want to be. Yes, we celebrate European trophies. Yeah, that's nice. But what's next? When are we going to win the big one? Do you know what I mean? And that win against Barcelona all those many years ago was a stepping stone. It was a stepping stone to where we wanted to go. And we wanted to be in that Champions League, and beating Barcelona in that final was great. Unfortunately, during the 90s, we had a European law in regards to how many foreign players you can play in the Champions League back then. We had to rotate our squad incredibly during that time. And we had to leave out the likes of Kanchelskis, Mark Hughes, because he wasn't English. We had to leave Dennis Irwin, Roy Keane, and you only can play a certain amount of foreign players, and that includes Republic of Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. So that we had to rotate our squad. Partly the reason the class of 92 did get some big experience in the Champions League, partly that reason. We always used to keep Cantona in the team, though. We always used to keep Cantona, of course, and you know what, because of his influence within the team, the whole team, of course, guys. And that was a problem back then. So we would have had more cups. I feel like we would have had more European Cups if it wasn't for the rules back then during the mid-90s and the early 90s, of course, guys. We would have more to celebrate, of course. Kingdom, please press the like button. Thank you so much, Kingdom, you legend. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Absolutely, thank you. Nottingham Forest won more European Cup. Absolutely, Nottingham Forest won more European Cups today. They got a leg to look. I don't want to disrespect Arsenal, right, Kazi? But you know what? They really pushed me into a corner yesterday. I didn't mention the Bournemouth game yesterday. I did not mention the Bournemouth game yesterday. I don't like bantering. We got our own problems to think about, right? Without me going up to Arsenal fans and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But Arsenal fans come to me. Even though we won the game, they're coming to me. Oh, look at them two mid-table teams playing. Mate, do you know what I mean? We're 6 points from second. You know what I mean? From second. And they're going on like this. It's May. They're going on like it's May. This is the thing I don't like about these fickle fans. Do you know what I mean? They're nutty at the end of the day. Nutty. Mate, why were the teams so bad in the first half? This is the problem, Manu Tata. We have a problem about momentum in the first half. This is the concern that I have going forward in regards to Man United. It is the momentum that we have at the start of the game. We need to start games quicker, guys, because before you know it, against the bigger teams, we'd be out of the game. Like against Liverpool, for example. We need to start games a lot more quicker, a lot more sharper. Of course, guys, absolutely. Even Aston Villa won more. Yeah, absolutely. You can talk all day long. Ipswich Town, have won more proper cups. They've won the same amount of cups as Arsenal in Europe. Ipswich Town have won, you know what I mean? It's madness at the end of the day. They've won what? How many European trophies? They make me laugh at the end of the day. They make me laugh. They don't want to talk about European trophies. Absolutely. Steve Bruce and Kevin Moran were Warriors. Yeah, they were Warriors, absolutely. Steve Bruce broke his nose about 100 times, didn't he? He broke his nose about 100 times. That's what we like to see, though. That his nose was like. Oh, by the way, I just want to say it. Condolences to Steve Bruce and his condolences to Steve Bruce, who lost a family member, of course, yesterday, before the Barnsley game. Before the Barnsley game, guys, he lost his grandson, Madison, who was only 4 months old, guys. 4 months old. He lost his grandson yesterday. So in regards to Steve Bruce, condolences to Steve Bruce, the Man United family are with you, and your condolences. Manchester United legend, of course, Steve Bruce. The reason we won the Premier League, of course, guys, was Steve Bruce and that header in the 6th minute of injury time, guys. So one thing I will say is condolences and prayers that go out to Steve Bruce and his family, having lost their grandson. Madison, who was only 4 months old, guys. So sorry, I'm so sad to hear about that, guys. Really bad. Life is fragile, guys. Enjoy it. If Bruno played slightly better, we can win. If he played best, we beat Barcelona, Man City. Paul, we have to sign another best attacking midfielder. Bruno getting old. I agree, Han Solo. We do need to sign another attacking midfielder. If I'm being totally honest with you guys, we do need to sign another attacking midfielder. Another attacking midfielder needs to come in. I did want Omo, but I do believe in Xerxes. I believe Xerxes can be that guy if we give him enough guys. Enough games, of course. MUC now, how you doing, my friend? How you doing, my brother? I hope everything is fine with you. Good to see you back on the stream. Good to see you, mate. The mainstream media is awfully quiet today after a brilliant second half blitz. Absolutely. The attitude was right after the break. Ten Hag sticking by Rashford. Looks like it's starting to pay off this season. Agree, 100% MUFC now. Don't forget to follow MUC now on Twitter, guys. Absolutely knows his stuff, guys. One thing is that one thing I saw is that we showed a me against the world sort of attitude when we came on the pitch in the second half. It was adversity in the first half when we had that goal scored against us, which shouldn't have been allowed, that our best defender had to come off, leaving us exposed in the defense. For us to come out and play like that was fantastic. And we have to give Manchester United praise where it's due. I'm seeing a lot of those Ten Hag haters, those media guys being awfully quiet, as you said. Very quiet about Arsenal, funny enough, though, losing to Bournemouth. Very quiet about Newcastle United losing at home to Brighton. Very quiet, isn't it? Very quiet. It's like you're going to hear a pin drop. You know what I mean? Hated, adored, never ignored, as usual, guys. Don't forget Pallister, Brian Falkett. Absolutely. Pallister had a bad back. Let's not forget Gary Pallister had a bad back. When I think of Pallister, guys, I think of Liverpool. And why do I think of Liverpool? It's because I think of 11:30 kickoff at Anfield. And I think of a brace from Gary Pallister from the corner. And I think Manchester United 3, Liverpool 1 at Anfield. That's what I think, guys. What was in breakfast on Sunday? Not for me, no breakfast. I don't eat breakfast, guys. I don't eat until 12. It's good for you to fast from 6 to 12. It's very good for your body. Try it. It works. Absolutely. MEC, winning mentality was in the breakfast, mate. Style of football was winning yesterday. That's what it was. Absolutely. Sal, did you see the coaching staff were involved in taking to players and discussing tactics? Seems Eric Ten Hag has now started to listen to them and allow them to get involved. Eric Ten Hag can't do it alone. Eric Ten Hag does need does need help. He does. And you know what? Ruud van Nistelrooy is a great guy to have around. A guy who knows the football club, of course, guys. A guy who knows everything about the football club, if being honest. Yeah, his grandson died, as I said earlier. His grandson did die. R.I.P. Godspeed. You know what, guys? Inshallah, you know what? He's in a good place right now. He's his grandson. And you know what? Forgiveness. It's only a 4-month-old son. Sadness, isn't it? Condolences to me and Steve Bruce family. Absolutely. Big up, Satish. How you doing, my friend? Hope you do well. Good to see you, Satish, in the stream. Good to see you. Sal, we only have to blame the medical team for doing half work and not putting that famous spare. Mate, Darkro, we put a plaster on a cut on the head. I don't know what we're doing. If that doesn't show what our medical team are about recently, over the years, should I say, what does that say? Our medical team needs to fix up, man. They need to fix up because they're partly to blame as well. Ecstatic with a win. Absolutely, Satish. Look, we've done it, mate. We've done it. A nice week now. Bring on Fenerbahce. Bring on Fenerbahce, guys. United for life, Brian. That's what it's all about. United for life. Here is where it's at. United fan channel. The real United fan channel, of course, guys. No pretend here, guys. No pretend. That's why I can talk about the history without looking it up, guys. You know what I mean? And stuff. So, guys, you're absolute legends. Thank you so much for joining me. Go and banter Arsenal. You got my permission to banter Arsenal. Go on all those Arsenal fan channels and go and banter themselves. So, were Brentford shocking yesterday? They weren't in their usual best. I give our credit to us. Darko, I give the credit to us. I think we made them look average. We have to give the credit where it's due. We have to take the glass half full, Darko. I say partly we were to blame for Brentford looking so awful yesterday. I didn't think they looked awful. I just think we completely stopped them from doing anything yesterday. We were good yesterday. And why were we good? Because we were balanced. We had a left foot out on a left back. Apologies through the post, please. We had a left foot out on a left back, a right foot on a right back. We were balanced, bombing up that. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. Please stay more for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I try. Soggy biscuits. Arsenal soggy biscuits of the weekend, guys. Soggy, I agree, Kazi. I agree. And Arsenal fans are the soggy biscuit of the week, guys, because they are the ones who are bantering Man United yesterday. I did not start it yesterday. They were bantering Manchester United yesterday. They were the ones opening their mouth and talking. Do you know what I mean? They were talking, guys, absolutely. And I didn't. And they started it, of course. Arsenal fans said that London is red. It's not red, mate. If we're being honest, it's not. It's blue. Because the reason it's blue, and I say it as a Man United fan, right? The reason London is blue is because Arsenal have no Champions League titles. Arsenal have no Europa League titles. Chelsea have won 2 European Cups, 2 Champions Leagues. Chelsea have won an endless amounts of European trophies, including the Cup Winners' Cup and the UEFA Cup and the Europa League. They're more successful than Arsenal, and it's about time people said that. Yes, Arsenal, and I'll give their credit, Arsenal, where it's due, right? I say that Arsenal have done well to build the Premier League into what it is, alongside Man United, of course. They built the Premier League for a few seasons. They had a fantastic rivalry with us, and I'll always be respectful for them. But the fans need to know their lane. They need to know their lane and stay in it. Let's not talk about history when we talk about Manchester United, right? Let's not talk about how many cups we have as opposed to what Arsenal have, because we make you look silly. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. It is embarrassing. It's like them in a Ford Escort trying to race a full Ferrari when we're talking about Europe and Manchester United and Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So they need to pipe down a little bit, just a tad. You want Chris Pulisic in Man United? Nah, not for me, GK, not for me. Absolutely not. Hate Arsenal with passion. Brian, they talk too much. Arsenal are a great football club, but they talk too much, mate. They absolutely talk too much. They've got too much to say, without backing it up. Didn't they call the Champions League a glorified cup competition a year ago or something? They're mad. Absolutely. Everything is a glorified cup competition then, isn't it? We might as well not play football. The league is a glorified league. The competition. I agree with you. Chelsea has more success than Arsenal in the last 20 years. Yeah, they've overtaken Arsenal. Maybe not in English football, but in regards to how many trophies they have recently, in the last 30 years, they are more successful than Arsenal. And you know what? I would say Man City are more successful than Manchester United. We're not delusional. They are. But are they bigger than Man United? No, Manchester's still red. Why is Manchester still red? It's because Manchester have 3 European trophies, endless amounts of European trophies, more league titles than them, more FA Cup titles than them, more League Cup titles than them. That's why Manchester is red. That's why. Because we're ahead of them with everything. We're headed in with everything. Until Man City elevate us, are Man City a better team than us? Yes, they're a better team. Are they a bigger club than us? No, they're not a bigger club than us. And that's how it is. That's why I class Chelsea as a bigger club than Arsenal, because they won more. They won more. And then they're growing. Not to say that Arsenal are not a big club. They are a big club, but they're not an elite club. They're not like one of those clubs who win endless cups. Since we are more comfortable with Man City and Liverpool winning the Premier League than Arsenal, Darkrow, I'm uncomfortable, and I hope they all lose. One thing I would say, right? I'm not a fan of Arsenal. I was raised in London, guys, and people will know me. I'm not a fan of Arsenal. I'll give you stories about Arsenal the way it used to be when we were winning title after title in the 90s. We lost the league title in 1998 to Arsenal. Arsenal won the double. Fair play to them. But they bantered me to Kingdom Come. They bantered me so much, you know what I mean? And I was very humble as a United fan. Back then, I was very humble. I didn't used to jump up and down. We won the league, won the double, won the double, won the... I didn't used to do things like that. I was very, very, very mature for my age. And you know what? When Arsenal won that double in 98, after they didn't win anything, they went over the top. They went over the top. They started doing certain things, and bantering me and this and that. And I said to them back then, I said, mate, you won the league by 1 point. Right? We'll be back next season. You see. And they go, yeah, we're going to win it again. We won the treble. City are ahead with their charges. City are the most successful frauding team in the history of football. You have to give them their props. You have to give them their props, guys. They are the most dodgy team in football. They're the most dodgy team in football, guys. Absolutely. Most dodgy team in football. Ipswich have more European trophies than Arsenal. Oh God! Big up Bobby Robson, by the way. Big up Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson's a legendary manager, of course. The one, I mean, great manager, of course. The last great England manager was Bobby Robson, of course, and Terry Venables. Eltel was a great England manager as well. City won nothing without oil money. They wouldn't have won nothing without oil money. I absolutely agree with you, Chow. They wouldn't be nothing without oil money. And if we're going to give Arsenal their props, you know, they didn't do it with oil money. Neither did Man United. Neither did Liverpool. Neither did, you know, and Chelsea and Arsenal are those two teams that needed dodgy money to get success. Chelsea and Man City are those two teams. We didn't need that. Arsenal didn't need that. So that's one props I give them. But Arsenal fans just need to pipe down a little bit. Pipe down a little bit. Just a bit about Man United. Just a little bit, guys. Absolutely. Guys, it's been a fantastic show. It seems like I'm done. It seems like I'm done, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're new. Please. And don't forget to smash a like on the video. So important that if you smash a like on the video, guys. Really important, guys, if you do that for me. It's been brilliant. Show's gone brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. You guys here. Kazi's chosen Arsenal as the soggy biscuit of the week, guys. Absolutely. Soggy biscuit of the week is Arsenal, guys. So Arsenal are the soggy biscuit of the week, guys. So at the end of the day, big up Arsenal. Congratulations on their trophy of soggy biscuit of the week. They can throw that at me as well now. Absolutely. Big up Arsenal. Big up all you for joining me today. You absolute legends. Thank you so much. Don't forget, I'm back later on for Chatterbox. I'm back as usual for Chatterbox. Cheers, mate. Bring Johan Bakayoko. Let's see. Guys, absolutely. Big up Brian. Big up yourself. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up everyone, guys. You guys who stay with me. Ciao, Sanjay. Thank you so much. Ciao, Tutti. Thank you so much. Very good to have you here, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Absolute love and respect to you all. Take it easy and don't forget to join me later on as well, guys. Chatterbox matters. Chatterbox matters, guys. So join me for Chatterbox. Lots of material coming up and you take it easy. Peace.